Sandy, you've come into the stadium so many times. Do you ever think back about any particular days that come to mind that you came in for a big game?
Oh, I don't think so. I think the first time coming into the stadium after 4 years in the Coliseum, I think you come in here and that time it was brand new. It was incredibly beautiful, and it was a great thrill just to come out to this ballpark every day.
You know, the Dodgers were patient with you. Do you think major league clubs today are not as patient with young pitchers?
Well, I don't know if you could say they were patient with me. I was in the big leagues at 19, had never pitched to 4 games in my life. Baseball had a rule that I had to spend 2 years in the big leagues. I don't know, I did my minor league time in the big leagues. If I'd gone out and walked 4 or 5 guys in a ball game in the minor leagues, they'd have thought that wasn't bad at all. You do that in the big leagues, it's not great. No, I think they're more patient with players today than they used to be.
People talk about Ramon Martinez, and you've watched him. They talk about the fact that he has long fingers. You had long fingers. What's the importance of long fingers to a pitcher?
If you can throw, they're important. If you can't throw, it's not going to help you one bit. No, Ramon's got big hands, and eventually I think that'll help him with the breaking ball a little bit. And he struggled to get it. He's got it now, and I think he's going to be a great pitcher for a long time.
Are you concerned that too many pitchers are trying split finger pitches and gimmick pitches like that could hurt their arms?
No, I don't know that split finger is going to hurt any more arms than just throwing. Just throwing is not really good for your arm. And if you're going to pitch sooner or later, you're going to do something to your arm. Occasionally you get somebody like Nolan who's just been wonderfully blessed and keeps throwing, hard in his 40s. But for most pitchers, that's just not going to happen.
How do they prevent the injuries?
Quit you when you're young. No, there's really not much you can do. The best you can do is hope that your mechanics are good and you're putting as little strain on your arm as you can. But if you go out there often enough for a long enough time, you're going to damage it. It's no different than somebody who runs too much or, whatever it is, you're going to damage part of the body if you keep abusing it.
As you watch baseball today, what do you think's the change in the game from when you pitched?
Oh, I think probably the biggest change are all the new ballparks, the fact that they're symmetrical. I think years ago you went to different ballparks, you had to play the game a little bit differently, pitch a little differently according to the ballpark. Ballparks were squeezed into city streets, and some had long left fields and short right fields, some vice versa, some short center fields, and every place you went, you played the game a little bit differently. I think today, especially in the National League, most everything is fairly symmetrical and the same size. The American League still has some of the older parks, which in a way to me makes it interesting. I still like the older ballparks. They're not as comfortable, but there's something interesting about playing in them.
Fernando, of course, had his no-hitter the other night. Of your 4, as you look back on those no-hitters, any one in particular? Of course, the perfect game, I guess, would stand out, wouldn't it?
Well, I think the first one is always the standout, but I think the perfect game was not so much because it's a no-hitter or a perfect game, the fact that we were in a pennant race. It happened late in the year. It happened in September. We weren't scoring a lot of runs. I got 1 run that night, and you managed to win, and I think I needed it that night to win. Bob Henley pitched a 1-hitter, so, the fact that you won a game at that time of year in a tight pennant race.
Sandy, what about the Dodger organization, what it's meant to you over the years, and then what you meant to it?
Well, the Dodger organization was the only organization I ever played in, and Walter O'Malley and Peter O'Malley and the O'Malleys have, not just been my boss, they've been friends, and it's been a good organization. I think it's been good to people, and I think because of that, I think the people who played in it have tried to be good to it.
And people say that although you're not part of it now as far as pitching instruction is concerned, you're still very loyal to the Dodgers.
Oh, definitely. I'm still a Dodger fan.